Good day viewers, you're welcome back to my channel at Success Stitches. Thank you guys for staying behind. Thank you so much for liking my videos. Today I'll be showing this. I saw this on someone's page and I so much fell in love with it, so I'll be teaching us how to make it. It's a twisted neck top with a bell sleeve, a big bell sleeve. But normally if you are to sew the style, as you can see it in the picture, if you have to sew it, you need 2.5 yards of fabric. But for me, I don't have up to that fabric, so I'm going to mix the fabric. I'm going to use this. I have a yard plus of this black and polka dots, black polka dots. So I'll be using this my black net for sleeve, because I already have the sleeve before, so I'll be using it with it. But before we cut the fabric, I have my paper here that I'm going to use to do the paper illustration, because you need to do the paper illustration before you cut it on your fabric. So the first place I'll be doing is the front pattern. And the front pattern, the measurements I'll be using my measurements. The length of my top is 24. So this place cannot reach me because of the extension of the neck. So this is how I'm going to mark it. So I have my ruler here, I have my scissors, I have my neck cuff. So for the front pattern, the length, before I measure the length, I'll measure 9 inches ahead. If you look at that neck side, it's twisted to the back. So I'll measure 9 inches ahead. At that 9 inches, you rule it before you start your measurement at all. So I rule it. After that 9 inches, for the twisting is when I'll measure my blouse length. My blouse length is 24, so I'm putting 25 for shoulder and bending of the down. So I'll rule it there also. So after then, I'll measure my waistline. Here we don't need under bust. My waistline is 16. You don't need under bust for this kind of style, because there will not be darts on it at all. So at this place that I measured this my 9, I'm going to come in by 2 inches. And I come in by 2 inches, I mark. And at that 2 inches, I'm going to shape it to the neck here. You can see the way I shape it to the edge of the neck. And after then, here, I'm going to measure 7 inches. So when I measure 7 inches, here also I measure 7 inches. So after that, you slant it. You can see that the line is not a straight line. It's a slanted line. Look at it. I came here by 2 inches. I slant it to the neck up, and I measure 7 from here, and I measure 7 from here. So it makes the line to be slant. After that, I'll measure 5 inches ahead. After that 7 inches, I'll measure that 5 inches ahead, and I'll rule. So after that 5 inches, I'll come down again. It's not a difficult style, but it seems difficult. But when you are sewing it, you will see that it's a very easy style to make. After that extension of 5 inches, I come down by 5 inches again, and I'll rule a straight line here. So when I come down like this, I'll stop. The next thing for me is to measure my bust circumference. My bust is 42. That is 10.5. 42 divided by 4, that is 10.5, plus 1 inch inseam allowance, that is 11.5. You can add all your seam allowance on the pattern paper. You just transfer it straight to your fabric. So at the waistline, my waist is, I told you that I'm not using that. So my waist is 36, that is 9, plus inseam allowance, that is 10. At the blouse length, that is the hip of the blouse, I'm using 10 for the hip side. So plus inseam allowance, that is 11. So the next thing for me is to join everything together. You can see how I join it. But when I'm coming, I will not reach this place. The next thing for me to do is for me to bring an armhole shape. And the armhole shape will not go straight. This is the 5 you measure. So you take your tape rule like this. At that place, I'm going to bring an armhole shape. Just look at what I'm doing. It's going to come like a curve before you make this one here. So this is how it's going to look like. The armhole is still small now, but by the time we are joining the back, we will add more. So this is just for the front part. This is all what we need. Let me explain it again. When you measure your 9 inches to this place, after then I measure my length and bending allowance. After then I came in by 2. After the 2 I measure 7 ahead, and I slant this to the neck. I measure 7 here to slant it also. So this place I come out by 5 inches. You can see my 5 inches here. After then I come down again by 5 inches. So at this place I'm going to create an armhole there. Your basic body's measurements with inseam, note that. That is all you need. So I'm going to cut the front pattern out now. You can see, and please, when you are cutting, always remember that this place is on fold. So it's going to be 2, not just single, because it's a pattern paper. That's why I'm using a single one. So you cut it this way. So after that, I cut the second side. The armhole side and the side. So this is how my front pattern will look like. You can see how it is. When we cut it on fabric, you will see it very well. So this is my front pattern and side. So for the back pattern, your back pattern is going to be your basic body's measurements. No, if you want to put zip, if you are using a stretchy material, you might not put zip. But me, I want to put zip because for it to be easier for me to wear through the neck. So your maximum measurement for your zipper allowance, 1 inch is okay for you. 1 inch is okay for you. Let me turn my paper like this so that you can see it very well. 1 inch is okay. So you measure 1 inch all through. And rule it out. So my length, which is 24 plus 1 inch for bending, which is 25, I measure my length. It's the same length with the front. So this is the length like this, and I rule it out. So you can actually cut the excess out. So I don't need this one again. So the next thing is for me to measure my basic bodies. My length, half length is 16, which I used in the front also. I'll rule it. My shoulder is 8 plus joining to the sleeve, that is 8.5. So my neck width, I'm using 3.5 by 1. The depth is 1 inch because the back of the neck is high. So I'll connect it with my curved ruler, neck curve. So after that is my shoulder slope of 1 inch. You come down by 1 inch. The shoulder slope of 1 inch. I told you the back is just the basic bodies, and my armhole is 8. So at the armhole side, I'm going to measure my bust. Bust is 10.5 plus inseam, that is 11.5. 1 inch is okay. At the waist is 36, which is divided by 4, 9 plus inseam, that is 10. At the blouse length, that is 40, 10 plus 1. So I'll connect all together. So my armhole 8.5. So sorry, this marker is too sharp. So at the middle of the armhole, that is 4 inches. So I'll come in for my back armhole. So this is my back normal basic bodice, and you know that this place is going to be on fold also for zip. So this is what I will cut for the back. So this is my back part. So the next thing is to transfer them to my fabric. So the first one I'll be cutting is the front part. And I told you it has to be on fold. So the front part, I'll place it like this. You can see it. When I placed it like this, it's already on fold. So that's what I will cut out. You can pin it down if you see that it's shifting. So I'm cutting the sides now. And the down part. So I'll cut out this shape also. So this is what I have for the front. So after cutting it, when I open it up, this is how it will look like. You can see it looks somehow, but don't worry, because by the time I fold this and I fold this and I twist the neck, you will understand what I'm doing. So let's cut the back pattern also. So this is the back. I'm cutting the back pattern now. So I'm through with the back also. So the next thing for me is to go to the machine and show you how we are going to sew it. So let's go to the machine. So guys, I'm already on the machine now to sew it. The first thing I will do is to hold my zipper allowance of 1 inch to the down. You can hold it with a temporary stitch, which I'm going to do now. I'm holding it down with a temporary stitch so that by the time I'm through, I will loop it back and put my zip. So after that, the next thing is to focus on the front. So this is the front. This is the way we cut it. This is the way we cut it. I cut it on fold like this while I was showing you. So when you open it up, it's like this. So the next thing for me to do for me now is to take this my 7 inches that I measure here. I'm going to bend it like this. I'm going to sew it. Look at what I'll do here. You can pin it down before you do it so that it won't shift. That 7 inches, when you fold it into 2, it turns to 3.5. So I fold it into two like that. Just be watching what I'm doing. The second one also, I'll do it that way. I'll fold it into two from that edge to the shoulder. It may want to be somehow twisting in your hand, but just know how to do it well so that it will not rumple. So after joining it like that, this is the two side like this. You can see what it turned out to be. So I will now twist it like this. You know that this side here will come to this side and this side will come to the other side. But before we do that, the next thing is to join our shoulder. This is our shoulder here. The next thing is to join our shoulder, and this is the 5 inches you use to come down is the shoulder. So you can see that it aligns with the back. I'm going to cut the shoulder, join the shoulder. So after joining this one shoulder, I'll join the second shoulder also. You see the second shoulder. I'll join it to the back shoulder also. So after joining it, this is what I have here. This is my neck here, and I've joined the shoulder. You can see that the armhole, it will not equal now, but you have to trim it down. You see the armhole now. You can see the armhole here, but by the time I'm through, I will trim the armhole to equal with the back. So I've already joined the armhole now. So the next thing is to do the twisted neck. This is how the neck is. But this one, instead of joining it like this and joining it, we are going to twist it. So this joining here, this one here that start from here, you can actually pin it down so that it will not confuse you. You will have to start the sewing from here to the back. That's why it's called a twisted neck. That is why you need to join the shoulder first. So it will goes into the zipper allowance. So this is it. So I'm through with one side now. So the other side also, you don't let it shake so that it won't scatter. So this is the second side. I will sew the second side also. Sorry. So I'm sewing the second side now, and like I told you, it goes into your zipper allowance so that you'll be able to pass through your edge. So once I'm done with both sides and I open it up, so this is what I will have at the front side. So this is how it is twisted. When I put it on the mannequin, you'll be able to see it very well. You can see. So the next thing is for me to trim my armhole. for it to be equal with the back, and I'll join by 1 inch. That is the inseam allowance that I put for both the front and the back. So I'm going to join it. So after joining it, I will add the sleeve and the zip. I told you no that. So it's just a straight joining of 1 inch. So I'm through with the joining of one side. I'll join the other side. I have my invisible zip here that I'm going to put. It's a long one, so when you are putting zip, you have to let the zip start from the neck here. So for you to be able to wear it from the neck, so I'm using a long zip here. So after joining this side, I'll put the zip, I'll put the sleeve, and come back and show you on the mannequin. So guys, I'm through with the top. As you can see it on the mannequin, this is the neck, the twisted part here. As you can see, when I put it on, you will see it very. This is my sleeve, the neck sleeve that I told you I'll be using, and this is the back part, because the zip needs to enter the back so that it will be easier for you to wear. As you can see it, I use a long zip. So thank you so much guys for staying tuned. If you have any question concerning the neck, if you have any question concerning any area in the top, just drop it in the comment section and I will attend to it. Thank you so much guys, and if you found this video helpful, kindly give it a thumbs up and press on the notification bell if you haven't done so that you can get updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much.